With the Nintendo Switch release of the greatest internet personality simulator ever, Needy Streamer Overload, Zemono and WSS Playground added 3 new endings to the game. These new endings being Dark Angel, Galactic Express, and Internet Runaway Angel be invoked. These 3 new endings make fine additions to the overall scenario and story of Needy Streamer Overload, the new content bringing in more things to speculate about, and a new best girl. Yeah, you heard me. Dark Angel gang all the way. Kang gang and Ami gang can just in case in the highly unlikely scenario you randomly clicked on this video without knowing what Needy Streamer Overload is, it's basically a content creator simulation game that goes over dark themes. You know, drug use, addiction, cheating, manipulation, cults, self-harm, violence, suicide, depression, and mental illness in general. So let's break down these endings and give my interpretation of what they mean to the overall story of Ame and Needy Streamer Overload. Yo, me from the future here. So yeah, this footage is from Windows 20 again. I know both of my NSO videos have been using Windows as uploads, but I tried recording this myself to get the new endings. However, I had to super downgrade my GPU, and my footage is really muddy and gross, so yeah. Thank you Windows 20, you're quite literally the MVP, love you. Dark Angel is basically a bad ending lose condition to the game by reaching 1 million followers and doing the 1 million follower celebration stream after Ami has already had a mental breakdown on stream. You know, the event that happens after maxing out stress and increasing the stress cap to 120. In this ending, the stress of being under the watchful gaze of the internet really gets to Ame. Instead of the normal 1 million followers special stream, you are instead treated to a combination of the real Ame and Kawaii Angel streamer persona, the Dark Angel. We're then given an opposite, more negative take of the Internet Angel stream, where the Dark Angel essentially says the opposite of what K-Angel would have said. Promises of future peace turn to trappings of past trauma. Happiness for nerds and internet becomes the sweet promise of death for the vermin on the internet. Yeah, that kind of stuff. While K-Angel focuses on the love and support she has been receiving, the Dark Angel focuses on the hate and how it grinds at her mental state. The stream ends with the Dark Angel cursing her audience, a long shot of K-Angel's normal bless. We are then forced into the ending stream, where during a rant, the Dark Angel decides to remember the warnings earlier? Yeah, the Dark Angel decides to slit her own throat on stream. Dark Angel is a really heavy ending and a great tragedy in the grand context of the game. We know how this would have played out if Ame was in a better mental state and took in all the good rather than ignoring and focusing on the bad. In the overall theory based in story, this ending helps push the P-chan isn't real theory, as the blood on the screen literally doesn't make sense otherwise. Because if you're P-chan and P-chan is real, how did the blood get over your computer screen? But that's not really the importance of this ending. The main amazing thing about this ending is the Dark Angel herself. We get a glimpse into how Ame really feels in the moment while doing the whole happy ego act, rather than the normal reaction after the fact on her private tweeter. Overall, it's a pretty cool ending with more foreshadowing to the contents of secret.txt. Galactic Express is an ending achieved by completing all the Netlore streams, taking magic paper, candy tablet, because yeah, on the Switch release, the drugs became sweets. After taking your candy tablets at noon, during the night, you then make Ame go to the Galactic Rail to get the ending stream of the Galactic Express ending, a stream titled True Happiness. As this is a drug trip ending, I am not exactly sure how to take this ending, as it's pretty confusing to see what's real and what's not. The stream starts off with Ami making it to this galactic train with P-chan, which is from a story she was told from her childhood. This implies that K-Angel will also get her wish granted on this train ride with P-chan. The galaxy train then specifically crosses the Northern Cross, which is kind of a weird thing to focus on. K-Angel then talks about how the internet has affected her in everyday life, how it controlled her in every waking moment of the day. She then makes a wish for the one person who stuck with her through everything to be free of her. K-Angel wishes for P-chan to be free, and then she dies. Ame expressing her feeling of loss of control to the internet really drives home the overall message of the toxicity in their internet influencer lifestyle. As an actual ending though, it kind of feels off and doesn't really connect with the rest of the Netlore streams. I don't know, it just kind of feels weird that Netlore is required to see this new ending, even though it has nothing to do with the Netlore streams, and one of the new endings plays off the Netlore streams better than this ending does. But whatever. Galaxy Train fits into the simulation theory, I guess, if we take what K-Angel says about objective parameters seriously, as it's kind of a weird thing to say. It's another K-Angel's on drugs and knows that she's not real sort of deal. Kinda strange that it has happened twice in this game. However, from personal experience, I can kinda get why it was said that way, as back in the Smash days of this channel, I kinda felt the same feeling. The Galaxy Train ending really fits both the narrative of P-chan not being real with the simulation theory, and P-chan being a real person, as P-chan is really essential to this ending. However, at the same time, it kinda contradicts both of these theories, as we're kind of focusing on a throwaway line made by Kanjo for simulation theory, and Ame is tripping on drugs right now, so it doesn't even matter if P-Chain's real or not for Ame to wish them free. And don't even get started about the Northern Cross. Why was it even brought up? Like, it's such a strange thing to point out and mention specifically, so it has to be important, right? But I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to make a connection to. Am I supposed to connect to the Swan, or Zeus, or whatever? Maybe it's even an Evangelion thing, where the big shiny cross means absolutely nothing! Cool ending though, but I'm mostly confused and sad more than anything else. Maybe that's the point of the whole ending. I don't know. Don't do sweets, kids. Internet Runaway Angel Be Invoked is basically a challenge mode ending achieved by reaching the follower cap of 9,999,999 followers. In this ending, the game's UI ticks over the screen and Ame's statistics go crazy to show off the monumental achievement. We're then shown a series of tweets. These tweets are legitimately bugged, so I had to go find them on the wiki. They basically say how Kanjo's a god and how she'll celebrate with the whole world in one last stream. We are then bombarded with a bunch of internet articles and forum posts praising how great she is. And in this world, 10 million subscribers, give or take, is an astounding world record. And that only 10% of the people watching Ame's content follow her. Back to the ending though. When we start the stream, Kanjo talks about how there's so many people watching her now. And because of this success, the internet can't handle it anymore and will die. After saying goodbye to everyone, everything is then consumed in a white void. You are then left alone in this void, with a message asking if the internet was fun. Internet Runaway Angel is a nice little fun ending that can only be really seen as a non-canon fun event where Kanjo finally saves the internet, which, I may point out, was actually the whole entire point of Netlore Stream 5, so why is it not connected to that? Or it can be seen as key evidence of simulation theory as it represents the simulation overloading itself due to having to work with such high numbers now, and is deleted and wiped clean off the computer. It's the only real explanation that makes sense, as most of the preamble leading up to the farewell in the stream is kind of nonsense otherwise. Not to mention the ending kinda starts with the game's statistics going crazy and glitching out. As this is a challenge ending, Internet Runaway Angel can be seen as the final events before seeing the secret.txt. However, more important than everything else, this ending really drives home the overarching ethos of needy streamer overload. Even though the internet is a great tool that helps connect us all, it also can corrode and corrupt us. Even though the internet will connect you to more people than you can even imagine, after a while, there's just too many people, and it doesn't feel like real human connection. Even though Ame has deluded herself in simulations, horrible delusions, alternate realities, or whatever you interpret the events of needy streamer overload to be, it's time for both her and you to return to reality. Even though playthrough-wise this ending is after File 0, the whole part about farewell and returning to reality really works with the whole idea of File 0 as the real world. And as for us the players, at this point we have spent countless hours on this game, and on strategizing to see all the endings and do what it takes to reach the monumental task of getting to the follower cap. The final goodbye is also a goodbye to us, the real world fans, as we essentially have done everything in the game at this point. It's a really nice send off to needy streamer overload, so yes, the internet was fun.